Hello, we are back playing UrzaTron in Pauper. UrzaTron draws its name from a 1980s cartoon called Voltron. The premise was 5 small robots assembled to make a giant robot. In this case, it's 3 lands that assemble to make a boatload of mana. Let's get to the namesake cards for the deck. Urza's Mine. Urza's Mine adds, we'll see if we can get a picture. The picture is actually really cool here. Display, show preview pin. So, Urza's Mine. Add 1 to your mana pool if you control an Urza's Powerplant and Urza's Tower. Add 2 to your mana pool. Fairly simple idea. So let's go to the Powerplant. So it's the same thing. Add 1 to your mana pool if you have the Mine and Tower. Add 2. So we get all 3 pieces. We have the Tower, gives us all 3 pieces. We actually have 7 mana. The Tower is worth 3, whereas the Powerplant and Mine are worth 2. So by turn 3, you could have 7 colorless mana. So that's the mainstay of the deck, 12 Tron land. And then we have to overcome the small difficulty of it's all colorless. So we go to Unknown Shores. Add 1 mana of any color, add 1 colorless to your mana pool, spend 1 of any color to make another one. So we can convert our colorless into colored mana. Handy. We also have other ways of doing it, just the 2 lands. The 2 lands are there is because we have a lot of ways to fetch, and it's a fetchable way of fixing our mana. Haunted Fengraf, it's there to A, it's mana, and B, it's there to get our creatures back out of the graveyard, because this is Pauper. Black has a ton of removal, red's got removal, blue, it's got counter spells, so getting stuff out of the graveyard is a key integral part. We've got 4 Haunted Graphs and 2 Pulse of Murasa to accomplish that. So it's only 18 lands. Sounds like not a lot, but it works because we have 8 ways to tutor for lands and then a ton of card draw. So the whole point of this deck is to get your Tron lands out, cast big things early. It's a fairly simple combo style deck, but when it works, it works really, really well. So we'll go to our 1-drops, and there's 18 1-drop. First being Firebolt. Firebolt does 2 damage to a creature player with 5 mana cost flashback. It's sorcery. In most cases, it's fine against one of the key matchups, Mono Blue Delver. There are times if we keep seeing Delver show up, I may change it out for Lightning Bolt, just because instant speed to get their Ninja of the Deep Seas would be kinda handy. One of our main tutors is Ancient Stirrings. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a colorless card from among them and put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library. Lands are also colorless, so you're tutoring 5 either for your land or mana fixings, whether it's Expedition Map, Prophetic Prism, Prismatic Lens. You've got a lot of things you can tutor for it, and later on you can also tutor for your main win condition, Ulamog's Crushable. We'll get to Ulamog's Crushing in a little bit. We've got 8 Chromatic Sphere and Chromatic Stars. They're identical, different name, identical artifacts. Sacrifice it, makes 1 mana, draw a card. Great for mana fixing and card draw, but more importantly, it works with Fangren Marauder, which we will get to. Expedition Map, sacrifice it, search your library for land card, reveal. That's a land card, not basic. Well, it can be basic. So we can get our missing Tron pieces, we can get our Unknown Shores if we need colored mana, or Haunted Fengraf if we needed to get something back out of our graveyard. Pretty handy, pretty important piece. And then our 2-drops, we start with some more removal, Chainer's Edict effect with flashback. The double black, this deck doesn't like double colors, but generally that late in the game, it works. Yes, I can have 7 mana at turn 3. I will not have double color, but it doesn't matter. I've got other things to do. This is kind of a late effect, turn 4, turn 5, where I might get the double colored and be able to flash back. But edict effects are important because we do see enough hexproof and Boggle stuff. Prismatic Lens, color fixing, and mana ramping. So we could have Ulamog's Crusher, 8 mana on turn 3. Prophetic Prism, enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then it mana fixes. Most efficient mana fixing. In fact, quite often that's one of the prime cards I'm looking for. Once I've got my Tron lands with Ancient Stirrings, I want the Prism. Card draw, Seagate Oracle, 1/3, not exciting, but we get to draw a card. We scry 2 and then draw 1 and stick 1 on the bottom. Pretty efficient. Pulse of Murasa gets a creature or land card from the graveyard. That's where this card, what really helped Tron, was also a land card. So there's land destruction. If you get your Tron piece back out of the graveyard, and do naughty things to them. Pretty handy. The 6th life is just a bonus because burn, especially with the new Thermal Alchemist variant, is very effective. and Pulse of Murasa can really set them back. Mulldrifter, worst case scenario, 3 mana draw 2. Best case scenario, 5 mana draw 2 with a 2/2 flyer. Great card. We don't normally care so much about mana costs. We generate so much mana so quickly, it gives us the versatility. We'd rather have a more versatile card that gives us more for more mana than a more mana efficient card, because we don't really care so much about mana efficiency, other than the double color cost. That's an issue. The double color cost is an issue, but if it's a single color cost, even if it was a 5/1, it would still be playable. And then we'll move over to Fangren Marauder. This card has won me so many games. The top deck by numbers in the meta for 5/0s on the league in Pauper is Affinity. This card absolutely and utterly hoses Affinity. Affinity wins, if you haven't seen it, Affinity wins by either pumping an ATOG, sacrificing all their artifacts, give it +2/+2. Either they're swinging with it or they're casting Fling, using its, I guess, power to hit you directly. The reason why this hoses, every time they're sacking their artifact to get their ATOG +2/+2, you're healing 5. It doesn't work. They're only gaining 2 points of power, you're dealing 5 at the same time. And it's a 5/5. It's so hard for them to deal with. They really have to double Galvanic Blast it, because you don't attack into blockers. You don't give them an opportunity to easily remove it. And even if they do remove it later on, if you sacrifice enough of your Expedition maps, your Chromatic Stars and Chromatic Spheres, and get to 35-40 health, there's no way that they can win anyway. You're going to grind them out. They can't do enough damage. They can't sacrifice enough artifacts to grind out the win. Fangren Marauder is an all-star in this deck. And then the big bomb, 8/8, Annihilator. Every time it attacks, target player sacrifices 2 permanents. I don't usually get to use it that much. It's pretty rare. You cast Ulamog, and if they're not casting black, they're usually just GG is done. If they're playing black, you've got to protect it or get it back to the graveyard, because they're just going to chainer it on you. And then we go to an alternate win condition. I'd say 75% of the time I use it as a board clear. Since we generate so much mana, if we can get the double red, clear the board, we get a couple to the face, and then allow us to stabilize and start hopefully beating in. Fangren does most of our work, Mulldrifter too. So that's the deck. That's our 60. We move over to Sideboard. Circle Protection Green. This is for Stompy, Green Stompy, Boggles and Hexproof stuff. Circle Protection Red. I bring it in sometimes against Affinity, because their Fling and their ATOG are red. Against Burn it's really handy. Against the Thermal Alchemist variant, the Goblins variant is really good. The Thermal Alchemist variant, not so much, because you can't keep spending, even with our prodigious amount of mana, it's really hard, because they're just going to ping you off. One, you can kind of work around. 2 thermal and you can't clear it, it's usually GG. You're not coming back from that. There are times I really like it, and there are times I don't. Okay, Nihil Spellbomb, Dredge, and Graveyard Shenanigans, and Oromancer, and there's enchantments to bring other things, and black spells that if you discard a creature, there's a lot of graveyard stuff, so you've got to have a way of dealing with graveyard. And this is a great way of dealing with graveyard. 1 mana, we draw a card. I can run Relic of Progenitus, but it wipes up both graveyards. We really don't want to wipe out our graveyard unless we have to, because we do play from it. We want to be able to get our Ulamogs, or Fangrens, or Mulldrifters. We do want to be able to get them back if possible. Additional Chainer's Edict. Quite frequently, if I've got playing Hexer for Boggles, the Firebolt, or even Stompy, the Firebolt's just not going to do enough, so we'll pull one of them out and stick a Chainer's in. Electrickery, there's a board clear. Elves, Mono Blue Delver. It's a handy spell. There's no way around it. Pyroblast, Mono Blue Delver, and then Naturalize. There are better red spells and then flashback spells that destroy artifacts. I want to do enchantments as well. I want a little more versatility, because Journey to Nowhere sucks. Oubliette sucks too, but Journey to Nowhere to Ulamog or Fangren can get you back your creature, and it's worth it. There is another one, I think it's a 1-drop green, does the exact same thing. Your opponent heals 4, and I'd rather pay the extra mana so they don't heal. So that's the deck. We'll come back for round 1.